Okay, let's continue. The next command is trimmed plane. It is similar to the n-sided, but the difference is that it can project the creating surface in a plane. We can also, according to the symbol, adjust whether the two splines are connected or not. The next command is dome. There have three types in this command. First is smooth closed dome, which is often used for smooth boundary contours. The second is femdome. It is often used for the outline of the combination of straight lines and arcs. The third is dome with corners. It means the dome is lofted by three curves. The crown and magnitude are exclusive options on dome with corners. It defines how the continuity between the crown and side surfaces. Okay, let's move on ZW3D to show more detail to you. I used this spoon as an example to show you how to use this command. This spoon misses a surface on its underside, and this surface is in the plane. We can use the trimmed plane command to create the surface. Just select the curve and then confirm it. This surface will be created. And this created surface can project to a plane. For example, I offset the XY datum plane. And let this step ahead. Activated the command and select the created datum plane. The surface will be projected in the created plane. Next, I introduce the dome command. First, create the cylinder. Remove the top face to make this solid as the surface. Use the dome command. There have three types in there. What is the difference between these three commands? Just generate the ways of the dome are different. The first one is using the method of the n-sided command to generate the dome. The second one is using the method of the FEM patch command to create the dome. The final one is using the method of the loft command to generate the dome. Next, I will show them one by one. The first is smooth closed dome. Just need to select the boundary and modify the height. The surface can be created. But if you have other requirements such as the direction isn't the z-axis or have other special control point position, you can complete the shape control. Convert the visual type into analyze to check the continuity. There have three types of continuity, corresponding to the G0, G2 respectively. Different continuity has a different shapes. You can according to your requirement to select it. The setting of the femdome is similar to the smooth closed dome, so I don't show it anymore. The final is the dome with corners. In order to show it better, I decided to create a block as a sample instead of using the surface of the cylinder. And then remove the top face. Click the dome command and select the dome with corners. The boundary can only select by the curve list. So right-click the mouse and select the Insert Curve List, and then select all the curves. Confirm. Modify the height. The difference is there has a crown option. Open the zebra stripe to compare the difference between the tangent and the curvature. There has the sharp corner when you select the tangent. When I select the curvature, there will be more smooth. Confirm, the dome will be created. Let's turn off the zebra stripe display to watch the effect. Next, I want to introduce the blend command. It is used to create a transition surface between two surfaces. You can see on this PowerPoint. There has a direction option. It is different from other commands that need to select the axis. There have two types under this option. They are perpendicular and along edges. You can base your requirements to select. The other option is side. If there have two surfaces with the same edge, you can click the toggle face to convert to a different surface. It is very convenient to create the connected surface, but this surface is without the parameter. Next is ruled command. It can help you create the single surface. It is often used to create connecting surfaces without the parameter. There has an option that needs to explain is attempt trimmed plane. If two lines are in the same plane, we can check it to get a surface like figure 1. Otherwise, we get the surface like figure 2. If two lines are not in the same plane, we can only get the surface like figure 2. Okay, let's move on ZW3D to show more detail to you. Now I introduce the blend command. It is very easy, only need to select two edges, the direction, and then select the perpendicular or along edges. If the directions of the edges are opposite, you can click this icon to reverse the direction. Modify the weight to get what you want in the end. If there have two surfaces connected with a line, you can click the toggle face option to change the surface. Modifying the weight can change its shape. Next, I will use this model to show the ruled command. It is very easy. Just select the first path and the second path. The surface will be created. I have completed introducing the common using commands. Next, I will introduce the unfrequently used commands. The first is fillet blend. It is similar to the fillet command, which creates the fillet between two surfaces. There has two types under this command. They are blend entities and blend with a radius respectively. The difference between these two types is that blend with a radius can adjust the fillet surface through the radius parameter. There have some options that need to explain. First is spine. There have three types that we can see in figure 1. When we select the natural, the edges of the fillet surface match the two surfaces. When you select the spine, the edges of the fillet surface are perpendicular to the spine. As for the parallel, the edge will perpendicular to the direction which you select. The next option is capping. There have three types. You can see in figure 2. The edges of these two surfaces don't match. If you select the maximal, the edges of the fillet surface match the maximal edges. The minimal and tangent match can refer to the legend. Next is the series of the rail surface. It includes the circular by rail and the conic by rail. Both of them belong to the transition surface, which is similar to the blend command. But the difference is there has the solution in the rail surface command. The final unfrequently used command is face at angle. This command can be used to create a surface that is angled to the base surface. According to your requirement, you can create this surface base on the surface or the face of the solid. Okay, let's move on ZW3D to show more detail to you. Now, I use this case to show you fillet blend command. There have two types in this command, but they are very similar, so I mainly introduce the first type, the blend entities. Take this model as an example. Select the surfaces respectively. The spine has three types: natural, spine, and parallel. The default is natural. The spine needs to select a curve. The effect is the two lines are perpendicular to the curve. When you select the parallel, the effect is similar to the spine. The next option is sewing, which has four types for your selection. I select the divide as an example. The capping has three types. When you select the maximal, the surface boundary will match the maximal surface. If you select the minimal, the surface boundary will match the minimal surface. If you select the tangent match, the surface will match the minimal and maximal surface. So we usually choose the tangent match. Change the sewing type as so to check the effect. Roll back to sketch. The blend with a radius is similar to the blend entities. Select two connected surfaces and set a radius. The surface will be created. The second command is circular by rail and conic by rail. The circular by rail needs to select two paths and set the radius. If the result doesn't you want, you can select a different solution to get the final result. Conic by rail is similar to the circular by rail, but there has the conic ratio option that can modify. You can based on your requirement to modify it. The final command is face at angle. You can create the angled surface base on a solid or a surface. Set the distance and the angle that you want. If a curve is inside a surface, you need to set the direction for projects. And if you want to project to two sides, you need to check the bidirectional projection option. Okay, this is all the content of this video. Thanks for your watching.